alchemy. powers of alchemy.
Hi, y'all. What's going on, man? It's your man Frank. You know what I mean? Coming to y'all live and direct with another edition of Views from the Man Cave. So, welcome. Welcome to View from the Man Cave, a place for honest, intellectual, and informative dialogue and discourse about all things related to masculinity and manhood, responsibility and respect, provision and protection. So, let's talk about it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. All right, y'all. It's another Tuesday. You know how we do is man cave time. You know what I mean? So y'all pull up, man. We're gonna chop it up for a few, man. We're gonna wrap on it a taste. So I hope everybody had a good day. You know what I mean? A good weekend. I know I did. So I'm gonna tell you about a few things that I did and in my opinion on a few things that occurred over the weekend, and then we're gonna get right into our topic tonight. So on Friday, right? I got a I saw a Facebook about film Buck Breaking. Buck Breaking came out um, this Friday. It dropped this Friday. You know, our brother Tariq Nasheed of the Hidden Colors fame dropped another documentary on Friday. So this makes it seven documentaries he's dropped in his catalog. So he's dropped Hidden Colors, 1 through 5. He did 1804 as well. You know, I mean, a documentary about the Haitian Revolution, and then he did this new documentary that dropped this past Friday called Buck Breaking. And so I saw a post on Facebook about it that they were going to have a live viewing of the documentary up in Baltimore. You know what I mean? So Baltimore, that's nowhere from me. That's like a 30-40 minute drive from me, and I got a lot of family up there. Um, so it was nothing for me to go up there and get up with some of the family, some of the Black First family, of course, and watch this big time documentary and have a Q&A about it. So I went up there on Friday um, and saw the documentary. It was incredible. You know what I mean? So this is it right here, Buck Breaking. If you haven't seen it, check it out. You can get it on Amazon. Um, it's on Amazon. I think it's like $30 for the documentary there on Amazon. You can go to buckbreakingmovie.com, get it there as well. At the event, they were selling, hard copies of the event there. So I caught mine there at the event in Baltimore. I paid $25 for that. But, I mean, just telling you what it is from somebody who actually saw it, it's an incredible documentary. I think everybody needs to check it out. I think it's going to be his most talked about documentary. You know what I mean? His first 6, were history based, and that's great. We all need to have an understanding about our history as Black people. But this documentary right here is going to take it to the next level. It's a very controversial topic. Buck breaking, if you don't know what that is, that was a system that was used on Black men to make Black men more effeminate and easier to control, and to overall make Black people easier to control on the plantation. And so there was a process that slave masters would use in order to bring that about. So that's what they talked about on the film. It was heavy. You know what I mean? And when you see it, you're going to have um, you're going to go through a lot of emotions. You're going to be you're going to get the information. You're going to get the history. You're going to be angry. You're going to be pissed off, and then you're going to also, what I mean, and you're going to get some solutions at the end. You're going to get some tools and some things like that to kind of take back, think about, ponder, and kind of plot your next move. So it was a great documentary. Like I said, I went up there. These two sisters right here are in the documentary. The sister on the right, that's Dr. Ma'at. She hosted this event, the Q&A, all that good stuff. So she was there in the crowd, showing love, signing DVDs, all of that. She spoke at the beginning. Both of these sisters were in the film, speaking, dropping heat. You know what I mean? So they came through and showed love and all of that. So we did our thing out there. You know what I mean? At the event, it was a very nice spot. Called Terrace Cafe out there in Baltimore. So if you're in the Baltimore area, check that out. You know what I mean? Check it out. They have very good food, very nice ambiance out there. You know what I mean? They kind of, they held it down as far as the COVID protocols and all of that. But it's a very nice spot. The family came through heavy. We watched the documentary. It got heated. We had a Q&A. We did what we had to do, and then we just slid off. So it was a great event. Shout out to the brother Tariq for dropping the DVD and for having this live event and making sure that everything was decent and in order. And it was at Terrace Cafe, like I said, in Baltimore. The brother right here, he's the owner of the cafe. It's a very nice spot. The food was on point. So if you're ever in the Baltimore area, check out Terra Cafe. Get you some good eats. Get you some good material, some good Afrocentric, material, books, artwork, all that good stuff. So just tap into that. And so like I said, it was a great event. If you don't have the documentary, if you haven't seen it, Buck Breaking, check it out, man. You will, you're going to be moved one way or another. A lot of information in there. So check it out. And I'm curious to see what the family thinks about it. Also in the news, I saw that, our brother, Floyd Mayweather is about to get back in the ring, man. He's about to get back in the ring. He's about to fight Logan Paul. So that's going to drop. That fight is going to drop June 6th. I'm not sure where the event is going to be at, but, we all know Logan Paul, the brother who, with a guy who knocked out, Nate Robinson, man, put Nate Robinson to sleep. So I didn't like that, during Black History Month, my man Nate getting knocked out, put to sleep like that. So this brother Logan Paul has kind of made a name for himself, fighting people and getting KOs and stuff like that. So he has enough fame and enough popularity to him where Floyd is going to step in and get this easy money. So I know it's not sanctioned. Floyd is retired. This guy Logan Paul, he's not a legit boxer. He's not a licensed boxer. He's not a professional fighter. But I know people are going to watch it. It's going to be a good show. And I know Floyd is going to put in work like he always does and get that bag like he always does. So it is what it is. So I'm looking forward, to checking that fight out on June 6th. True indeed. All right. So we're going to get to the topic tonight, right? Like I see my family in here. I see my sister. All right, we back. So everything should be good now. All right, we good. So we're gonna get into the topic right now. We're gonna talk about hobbies and hustles. So what I'm seeing a lot, man, what I'm seeing in my personal life and what I'm seeing, in the social media community and all of that, I'm seeing a lot of people, a lot of brothers, who don't understand the difference between a hobby and a hustle. So we're going to break that down tonight because it's very important, especially if you're a brother out here, you got responsibilities. If you have children, you have, a wife, a girl, a fiance, a baby mother, whatever. If you have certain type of responsibilities in your life, it's important for you to understand the difference between a hobby and a hustle. All right. So a hobby basically, man, is something that you do for fun. You know what I mean? It's something that you like doing. You do it and you don't really do it for any type of wage or any type of reward. You just like doing it. You know what I mean? Brothers like cars, brothers like gaming, brothers like going to the range. You know what I mean? Brothers like reading, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Brothers like music, whether they trying to rap or write or play or whatever they doing. Those are hobbies. Hobbies are defined as things that you like doing for the most part that really don't make you any money. You know what I mean? Your goal isn't really to make money off of it. Your goal is just to do it and find joy and peace and all that good stuff up out of it. You know what I mean? That's what a hobby is. And so a hustle obviously is something that you do, that's going to make you some money. You know what I mean? That's going to put some money in your pocket. It's going to give you the opportunity to enhance or increase your quality of life. And so what I'm saying is there are a lot of brothers out here who have responsibilities as men who spend, in my personal opinion, too much time on hobbies and not enough time on a hustle. You know what I mean? And when you're a man in this world, especially if you're a man who has responsibilities, like I said, if you have children, you know what I mean? If you have a wife, if you have a lady that you with, you know what I mean? You should spend the majority of your time on your hustle. You know what I mean? To be a masculine man is to be a hustler. It's to be somebody that's going to go out here and get that bread. We go to school for it. We get certifications for it. You know what I mean? We have side hustles, whatever we do. You know what I mean? The goal of a man should be to go out here and get the biggest bag that you can get. And when you get that bag, you get another one and another one and another one, because you're putting yourself in the best situation possible to live the best quality of life that you possibly can. And that's important for you because, you get to live your life to the fullest extent. And it's important for your family, your children, and people who depend on you because their quality of life is increased. Now you can do things for them, things that, they wouldn't normally be able to be a part of. And then you could pass things down to them. You could pass your wealth, your resources, your properties, your portfolios, all that good stuff. You could pass that down to your children. You know what I mean? So your children will have a better chance to succeed and their floor will be a little bit higher as compared to other people that grew up in our community that didn't really have those same opportunities like myself. You know what I mean? And like the majority of us out here, we didn't have that. So that's why it's important to focus on your hustle. And so a lot of brothers, man, like they spend too much time on hobbies, man. They spend too much time playing around. Now I'm talking to y'all, man. I'm talking to these cats who out here trying to be musicians. I'm talking to cats out here trying to, just do things that don't really generate money, to do things that they spend too much time doing things that really don't benefit them economically. And see, the problem with that is if you're a grown man, what you're doing is you're depending on other people to fill in that void for you. So while you out here playing around, while you out here not taking care of your business, while you out here not getting money, not providing for yourself and for your family, the people who depend on you, while you out here chasing hoop dreams and trying to be the next superstar, musician or athlete or whatever, somebody has to fill in that void for you. Somebody has to step in and do what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? And I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing that too much. I'm seeing brothers, who depend on women to hold it down, to hold down the crib, to pay the bills, to put gas in the car, to put food in the refrigerator, while they out here chasing dreams. You know what I mean? And that's a no-go. And these brothers out here are doing it with confidence, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to my bro K, man. K Business Podcast. Check him out. My man Coach K out here. He did a video earlier today. You know what I mean? Y'all check him out, man. Y'all subscribe to this brother. It's a good brother, man. He's been on my show a few times. You know what I mean? Shout out to him. And thank you for that super chat as well. But there are a lot of brothers, man, who just not on their grind. And they're doing it now at a point where they're confident, man. They're arrogant. You know what I mean? That lady come home from work tired, feet hurt. You know what I'm saying? And these brothers are sitting there, chilling. And they're doing it with pride, like nothing's wrong. You know what I mean? And I get it. I see my bro in here on the Facebook side of the game. I saw my bro Vern, and he made a good point, man. You know what I mean? Let me go back up to it. He said it's women's fault for choosing those guys, and that's absolutely correct. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sugarcoat it at all. You know, women, black women especially, have to do a better job of vetting. You know what I mean? You got to do a better job, you know, in telling the difference between, you know, a brother with accomplishments and a brother with potential. We talk about that all the time, especially on this channel and on other channels that I subscribe to, that I rock with. You got to make sure that these brothers that you're trying to line yourself up with have some tangibles under their belt. They have some accomplishments under their belt, and their entire resume isn't just based off of potential. You know what I mean? You got to do that too, because a lot of times these brothers are sitting here and they're confidently allowing y'all, you know what I mean, to hold down the fort while they chase dreams. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you shouldn't chase dreams, you shouldn't have goals and aspirations, and you shouldn't want to move higher. But while you're trying to ascend, while you're trying to, you know, get your weight up, get your paper up, while you're trying to chase a goal, to chase a dream that you may have for yourself, you still got to bring that money in. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, these women that y'all support, that support y'all, especially like I know cats my age, man. You know, their mothers support them. These cats got whole families, man. You know, girlfriends, fiancés, wives, baby moms, all of that, and their mothers support them. You know, while they out here chasing dreams. And so, what I want y'all to understand is that your mom ain't gonna live forever. Everybody on this earth is gonna die. I know we don't like to talk about it. I know, you know, it's a soft subject, but it's a real subject, man. You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna die. We're not designed, it's not meant for us to be here forever. So these people y'all depending on, your mother, your grandmother, they ain't gonna last forever, man. They got other places to go. At a certain point in their life, you know, the Most High gonna tap them on their shoulder and he gonna say, it's time. I need you up here. You know what I'm saying? So what you gonna do then? What are you gonna do then? You gotta do for yourself. You gotta stop focusing on your hobbies, man, and focus on your hustle. Like, I know a young lady, she's a singer, but she also, you know, and we all know that the music business, the entertainment business, it's a toss-up, man. It's a lottery at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Some people make it, some people don't. Some of the most talented rappers and musicians and writers and all of that, some of the most talented people in this world never make it. And there's some people who are absolute trash and they make it. You know what I mean? It's a toss-up. You know what I mean? It's a Powerball. It's a lottery ticket, man. Like, you don't know. You know what I mean? But that sister, she's a singer and she travels and she, you know, she puts out work, and, you know, she's not big, but she's kind of B-side, you know, more so even C-side on the R&B side of the game. But, you know, she also went to school. She went to school at Howard, and she went to school of dentistry. So a pharmacy. So she's a pharmacist. So in the event that her music isn't selling, or she's not getting gigs and she can't travel and, you know, all that good stuff, she's a pharmacist by trade. So she can walk up in any Rite Aid, any CVS, and start off making $120,000, $130,000 a year being a pharmacist. You know what I mean? And there's nobody around. She's not dependent on anybody to front the bill for her, to pay her bills, to do things for her while she's out here trying to get her career popping. You know what I mean? But I don't really see that a lot of times from, like, there are a lot of fellas out here, man, who are dependent on women. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like I said before, you know, these women are wrong for that. Like, y'all wrong for choosing these cats and financing them and taking care of them and, you know, paying for their studio time and bailing them out of jail and all that. That's on y'all. That's something y'all got to deal with on your own. You know what I mean? But as a man, even though she's willing to do it for you, you know, your manhood shouldn't even allow you to take it. You know what I mean? It shouldn't even allow you to take it at the end of the day. And a lot of these brothers, you know, they'll use shaming tactics in order to get people to feel sorry for them, in order to, you know, sustain them while they out here chasing hobbies instead of pursuing hustles. You know, they'll use the religion. You know what I mean? They'll get on the religious side of the game, and they'll talk about, well, you just got to have faith, and, you know what I mean, you got to believe in me, and, you know, God told me I was going to be doing this. God said I was going to be this superstar, you know, singer, bringing souls to Christ and all of that, man. Look, cut that out. You know what I mean? Cut that out, man. Like, I ain't seen nowhere in that book where it says that a man ain't supposed to be responsible for his children and his wife. I ain't seen that nowhere in the book. You know what I mean? But they'll use tactics like that. They'll try to shame people into believing, into making them believe that that's something that they should be doing. That, you know, you should be honored and proud to financially sustain me and hold me down while I'm out here chasing a dream that may never come. You know what I mean? They'll shame you for that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll use the religion. They'll tell the girl, oh, you don't love me. You know what I mean? You don't believe in me. You know what I mean? Like you can't really say you don't love me if you don't, you know, believe in me and what I'm trying to do and my goals and aspirations and all that. All that's a finesse, man. All that's a hustle. You know what I mean? Let me tell you what's going to happen too. Let me tell you what's going to happen straight up. So let's say you do it, right? Let's say you fall for it and you hold this guy down, you take care of him, you finance him and all of that. When you look at some of the most successful people that, you know, we've ever seen, you know, whether it be musicians, entertainers, actors, whatever, a lot of times the women that hold them down, that, you know, sustain them, that front them money and all that kind of stuff, they don't really stay with them women. You know what I mean? Those are starter women. Like eventually when they get on, if they're lucky enough to actually make it, if they're lucky enough to actually, you know, become successful and have a hit record or a hit album or be in a big time movie or something like that, if they get to a point where they actually do make it, they ain't gonna stay with you no way. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna stay with you. They're gonna move on to somebody else. We've all seen it. Like we are, like, prime example. And I'm not throwing a shot. I'm just using it as an example. We all know the brother 50 Cent, right? Big time rapper, you know, get rich or die trying, sold 10 million copies, went diamond, you know, very successful brother on the music side of the game and on the acting side of the game. So if you saw his film, Get Rich or Die Trying, that was loosely based or somewhat based on his life, on his real life. And so what happened in the movie was, you know, we all know the brother was in the street, you know what I mean, doing what he does. And, you know, he got shot up, you know, playing street games. He got shot up. And then it was his girl, you know what I mean, who was there, you know what I mean, at the hospital, making sure he was going through physical therapy, making sure, you know, helping him learn how to walk again, helping him learn how to talk again while his mouth all wired up, you know what I mean? So she held him down because she probably thought, okay, like, you know, he's talented and he gonna get on and I believe in him and I love him and I'm gonna hold down the fort for him. You know what I mean? She actually thought that. And then when he got on, you know what I mean, when he made it, when he signed with Shady Aftermath and put out Get Rich and Die Trying and it went crazy, that relationship was over ASAP. It was a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So your best result when you finance guys like that, guys who out here chasing hobbies instead of hustles, the absolute, you either have two options. Either the brother gonna wear you out, he gonna take all your money, you know, you're gonna be frustrated, you're gonna be stressed out, all of that for nothing because he ain't gonna make it. His hobby ain't gonna turn into a hustle. Or if he's fortunate enough to where his hobby does turn into a hustle, you ain't gonna be around to see the fruits of that. Because the first supermodel that come through, the first dime that come through, it's a wrap for you. You know what I mean? You automatically gonna be included in a stable. You know what I mean? At best, you're gonna be in a stable. You know what I mean? And at the absolute worst, he's not even gonna waste his time dealing with you on any level. He'll just move on and get him something bigger and better in his mind. You know what I mean? So it ain't really no win for you. But I didn't really do this show to talk about the ladies. But I do want to say that I do want to let you know that, you know, the reason why it's a lot of lames out here, the reason why it's a lot of dudes out here who not really doing what they're supposed to be doing, who ain't really getting their paper, is because they don't really have to. You know what I mean? Because there's people out here that's taking care of them. It's women out here that's taking care of them, you know what I mean, where they don't have to go out here and get it. They don't have to hustle. You know what I'm saying? They can chase dreams all day. You know, they can go to the studio and spit all day. You know what I mean? They can do whatever they feel like doing that don't make money all day because they got you at home taking care of them. You know what I'm saying? So y'all are really, you know, feeding these cats. And y'all are really creating these cats that y'all swear y'all don't like. You know what I mean? But I didn't really do this live for, for the ladies who maintain these cats. That's not why I did it. I did this live because I wanted to talk to the fellas who live like this, because I know them. Some of them are very, very close to me, you know what I mean, on a personal level. There are a lot of y'all out here who you're out here chasing these dreams. You know, you got hoop dreams, you got dreams of being in a music game or whatever, and your family is fronting the bill for you. Your lady, your wife is holding down the fort while you out here chasing dreams. And some of y'all are too old for that. Some of y'all like in y'all 30s and 40s and 50s still chasing dreams. And doing it with confidence. You're doing it with your chest out. And I'm talking to y'all, man, like there's no way as a man I could sit by and let a woman take care of me, man, you know, while I'm out here chasing dreams. You know what I mean? I just can't do it, man. While I'm on the path to chasing a dream, and while I'm out here trying to chase whatever goals I'm trying to chase, I'm still working at the same time. You know what I mean? I'm still working. I'm still bringing. I have to get money. Men have to get money. Period. I don't care what kind of dreams you have. I don't care what you want to be. I don't care what kind of superstar you think you could become if you worked hard enough. You still got to take care of your responsibilities, man. Especially if you got kids. Matter of fact, I was on Clubhouse a couple nights ago. I was on Clubhouse, and you know, me and the family was on there. You know, the whole team, we were on Clubhouse, and so we were doing this room. It was my man Gabe's room. Shout out to Gabe, Ultimate Black Man Radio. We were doing this room, and the title of the room was, you know, do black men want it both ways? Basically, do black men, you know, want a woman that's traditional and modern at the same time? Like, are they expecting too much, or do they want too much out of women? That was the topic of the room. So we were in the room, and there was a brother in there, and he was from the South. He was from like Mississippi or Alabama or something. He was from, and he was with his female. He was 28 years old. I remember, if I remember correctly, he was 28 years old, and he was in a relationship with a young lady. She was 24 years old, and what he said was, he said that he had been with her for 8 years. So when he started dealing with this young lady, he was 20 years old and she was 16. And so he justified that by saying, look, you know, Frank, I live in Mississippi. So, you know, that's the law here. The law is 16-year-old girls can consent. So my girl was 16, I was 20 years old. You know what I mean? So he was moving like that. And so he went on to say that, you know, his girl was sustaining him, and she was sitting right there beside him on the phone when we were on Clubhouse. And she was like, look, and no, he was like, look, he said, you know, my girl, she pays 90% of the bills in the crib. You know what I mean? She pays 90% of all the bills in this house. And so I'm talking to him, and I'm like, well, what you doing? He was like, yo, man, I'm trying to get it. You know what I mean? It's kind of slow right now, getting the money. Saying I was out in the street, I was dabbling a little bit, you know what I mean, trying to hustle, trying to flip a little something. And I'm sitting here like, you know, but your girl is working though. And he said they had 2 kids. So his girl, you know, so he has a girl, he has 2 children, and his girl's getting up going to work every day. You know what I mean? And I think she said she made like $25,000 a year. So she wasn't even really making money like that. And then he was sitting here, and he was comfortable with the work day. He stayed at home because whatever jobs were out there, you know, wherever openings there were or opportunities there were to make money, he felt like they were beneath him. That's pretty much what he was saying. At the end of the day, that's pretty much what he was saying. He was like, look, you know, I'm out here hustling, and, you know, I'm trying to get money. Ain't nothing coming of it. My girl taking care of me. She paying 90% of the bills. I got 2 kids with her. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 kids. He said he had 2 kids with another. He said he had 2 other kids. So he ran off on his girl twice. In the 8 years that they were together, he ran off on her twice and made 2 babies outside of their relationship. You know what I mean? So he has 4 kids total. He was on back child support for the 2 kids that he ran off and had, you know, outside of his relationship with his girl that he had been with for 8 years. So he cheated on her twice, made 2 babies out there in the street. He was on back child support for the side kids. You know what I mean? And so he got 2 kids at home in his house. And so he got 4 kids. He got, 2 women that's looking for him. And he's not working at all. And one of the reasons why he said he wasn't working was because he said that he was behind. He said he was behind on the child support. So he was like, anytime he worked, whatever he get paid, they would garnish it. He was at that level. He was at the level where they were going to garnish his check if he got paid. So that's why he was dabbling in the street and moving like that, because he didn't want to get on. He didn't want to have a regular job. And so I'm like, so he wasn't the reason why I wanted to do this show. I had already wanted to do it because I had some people that were around me that were moving like this. And I wanted to kind of, put that energy out there, because I know if it's happening to me in my personal life, I know there are a lot of people who are experiencing it, all over the country, dealing with fellas who are comfortable with letting people take care of them. You know what I mean? While they chase hobbies that probably will never make them any money. You know what I mean? So I know that other people were experiencing that. So that's why I really, really wanted to do the show. But when I heard from that brother the other night, it really confirmed it for me. You know what I mean? It said, it really told you really do this show, because this brother was confident enough to come in the room on Clubhouse and talk about this situation. And his baby and his lady was sitting right there. He had been with her 8 years. I mean, he was nowhere near marrying her. He didn't really want to marry her like that. He was just doing it out of convenience. Had 2 kids with her, cheated on her, got 2 other kids out there in the street, wasn't really taking care of none of them, was on back child support, all of that. And he was comfortable. He was the most calm person on the phone. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't really matter to him. Like, a day, it was just Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't care. You know what I mean? It wasn't really important to him at all to go out here and get bread. And I'm just like, as a man, I would feel uncomfortable being broke. I don't know what that feels like. I can't remember the last time I knew what it felt like to be broke. When I knew what it felt like to have to ask somebody for something. Honestly, I can't really ever, not in my adult life. Not in my, like, maybe when I first started out, like maybe when I was like 19, 20, I first started out on my own, had my own apartment like the first time. Maybe I understood it then. You know what I mean? But in 20 years, I can't even understand or contemplate the feeling of being broke. And this brother was sitting here just as confident as he could be, being broke or having people take care of him, and it didn't matter to him. You know what I mean? And he thought it was perfectly fine. These situations, fellas, aren't going to last forever. Eventually, the woman that you're dealing with, she's going to rise up. You know what I mean? She probably already figuring out her exit strategy right now. She probably already on her way out. It's just a matter of time before, she finds a better situation and she roll or she puts you out, because it's her crib anyway, because you're not really paying nothing. So it's only a matter of time that she's going to get rid of you. You know what I mean? And then you might say, look, I don't care. Like, I go to my mom's or whatever. Like, I go somewhere. I go to my grandmother's. I ain't really tripping off her. You might say that too. Grandma ain't going to live forever, though. Your mom ain't going to live forever. And if she lives long enough, she may live long enough to wise up. She may live long enough to realize that she's not really helping you by financing you. She may live just long enough to figure out that I'm doing him more harm by financing him than I would be if I just put him out there and let him figure it out on his own. And so you set yourself up for failure, because there's not too many things worse than a grown man that's broke. There's not too many things worse than that, in my opinion. But one of the things that's worse than a young man, a young brother out here being broke, is an old brother out here being broke. And then trying to give people advice and trying to call yourself an elder or try to say that you have some wisdom that people need to listen to. And you're not even out here on your grind. You can't tell me nothing. I wouldn't care. Look, I'm going to tell y'all a true story. Like I'm pretty solid. Like I'm good. People who know me, people who follow me long enough, like I'm straight, and y'all know that. But if for whatever reason, right, if my money stopped today, you know what I mean? If I got a call tomorrow, like Frank, you know, it ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? Or my career just dried up and my paper dried up. And I'm out here, you know, trying to get a job. I'm trying to find my way. I'm trying to find some money. I got a wife, I got kids. You know what I'm saying? Let's say I'm out here moving, and the only job or the first job that called me back and say we want to hire you, we want you to start tomorrow. Let's say the first job that does that is a fast food spot. Let's say I'm applying all these places real quick. I'm trying to get some money. You know what I mean? I ain't in nobody's streets. I'm too old for that. That's a young man's game. You know what I mean? But let's say I'm out here applying for jobs, and the first job that called me back was Target or something, or Walmart, or Wendy's, or Burger King or something. Let's say they're the first job that called me back. That's where I would be at. That's where if it came to that, that's where I would be at. Would I like it? Of course not. Would I want to stay there? Of course not. But if that's the only way that I can get some legit bread, that's to flip some burgers or something, that's what I would do. Because I'm not comfortable being at home and having somebody take care of me. And I don't see how any man could be comfortable doing that either. Because you're playing a dangerous game. These women out here who let you do that, they sloppy, period. They got their own issues. They got self-esteem issues, all of that, and they wrong for that. But most of these women don't move like that forever. Eventually, she gonna wise up. Eventually, some dude gonna check for her that got his paper together, and she gonna look at him, and she gonna look at you. Then she gonna look at him, and then she gonna look back at you, and she gonna be like, I ain't doing this no more. I done gave this cat years. You know what I mean? I done gave him years, and he still ain't dropped the album. You know what I mean? I done gave him years. I done spent bands on studio time. He ain't dropped an EP. He ain't even dropped a single. Like, I ain't heard him on the radio ever. It's been 5 years. I ain't heard nothing. She gonna look at you, and then she gonna look at him, and she gonna say, no, you know what? Like, I gotta move. I'm not gonna spend my whole life dealing with a cat like that. Eventually, she gonna wise up on you, and you're gonna be stuck, man. Everybody not gonna take care of you. I don't care how much they love you. I don't care how much they knew you growing up. I don't care how nice you are, how smart you are. They're not gonna take care of you forever. If you're a man, you gotta focus on your hustle. Hobby. If you into the hobby so deep like that, turn your hobby into a hustle. You know what I mean? If you a brother out here who you like guns or whatever, that's your hobby. You know what I mean? Turn it into a hustle. You know, get you a channel and talk about it. You know what I mean? You know, go to gun shows and interview people, and you know, start a blog or a podcast or something where you talk about your hobbies and you get paper for it. And until that hobby becomes a hustle where that can sustain you, then you get you a regular job and you do that while you do your hobby, while you turn your hobby into a hustle simultaneously. You do both. You don't sit back here and let people take care of you, man. And then when I sit in the room with you, you sitting on the couch with me like we the same. We ain't nothing alike. We ain't nothing alike. It's not even about the amount of money you have. It's about your willingness to go out here and get $1. That's what men do, man. Men go out here and get bread. Men get it. Men make it happen. You have to, especially if you have responsibilities out here, especially if you have kids and you got a lady at home. The nerve of these cats, man. I can't believe grown men can be on social media, could be around me in any capacity, and have their chest puffed out like we the same. And your girl taking care of you, or your grandma taking care of you, or your mother is taking care of you. We ain't the same. And we ain't gonna never be the same. And I'm not treat you the same. I'm gonna be a nightmare for you. because something in you has to say, I got to be better, man. I got to make some money. I got to be better for myself. I got to provide for the people who depend on me. And you can't do that focusing on hobbies, man. You can't. I love a lot of things, man. I love sports. I love talking about sports. I'm not going to quit nothing I'm doing to you know, to pursue that hobby. When I got a mortgage, you know what I'm saying? When I have kids, when I have to fund their 529 college plans so that they can go to school and so they can go to college and graduate without no student loan debt. I got savings to fill up because I want to retire. I don't want to be out here 60 something years old working. I want to get up out of here early. I want to pay my house off early. You know what I mean? I want to travel, continue traveling the way that I do, the way my family does, my wife, my kids, all of us. I want that, man. I got goals out here. I have responsibility. So they require me to get up here and get this bread. It's just a bonus that it's my passion. Like it's my love to go out here and get money and get more money. That's just a bonus that I actually like it. But even if I didn't like it, I have a responsibility. I have a duty to the people who depend on me to go out here and get it. And if you're not moving like that, you sloppy. And like I said, you can hold on forever. You can make all the excuses that you want. Eventually, it's only a matter of time for people wise up on you. And they're going to figure you out. They're going to figure out that you're a fraud, that you ain't really got it hard. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear, well, Frank, the man holding me. I don't want to hear none of that, man. We all make moves in spite of that man. We make moves in spite of the world that we live in. You know what I mean? That's no excuse. If you got a record, that ain't no excuse. They have entire industries out here, fellas, for brothers that have records, for brothers that have felonies. You can get a trade up under your belt. You can get your CDL license. You can become an electrician. You can become a plumber, HVAC, whatever. The white man ain't no excuse. Your criminal record ain't no excuse. The fact that you didn't go to college and get a degree is no excuse. I live here in the DMV. You know what I mean? The federal government, the federal agencies, the majority of the federal agencies here, you get a job in the federal government without having a degree. Majority of them. When you apply for a job, when you go to USA Jobs and you apply for a job, the first thing they're going, and I know this because I work in the federal government. When you go to depending on whatever job it is, when you go there and you apply for a job, you go to usajobs.gov and you apply for a job. When you look at that vacancy announcement, here's what it's going to say. A lot of times it's going to say you either have education or experience or a combination of the two. So you can so what does that mean? That means you can get a federal government job with just a degree, with an associate's or a bachelor's degree. You could get that same government job with no degree, but with enough experience that qualifies you to do the work. What else does it mean? It means you can have a combination of the two. So maybe you compete with somebody who just has a bachelor's degree. Maybe you compete with somebody who just has 4 or 5 years of experience in the field. But you say, you know what? I got an associate's and I got a couple years of experience. All 3 of those people qualify for their job. All 3 of those people will make it to the second round and will get an interview. And then once you get in the interview, it's up to you to sell yourself enough to get the job. So even in the federal government, there's really no excuse. I started out in the military. I started out in the Army. You know what I mean? The Army waves will give waivers for people with criminal records. I knew brothers that went to the military that had a criminal record and they got waived. And they were able to go in the military and, get their GI Bill and VA loan and cop a house and retire after 20 years and get free medical and dental and all of that for their wife, for their kid, all of that. You know what I mean? Had a criminal record and everything. It got waived though. What am I saying? What I'm saying to y'all is there's no excuse. You're broke because you want to be broke. You're broke because you're comfortable being broke. This channel, I started this channel because I know a lot of brothers who are like myself who go out here and get it every day. Young, old, business owners, career driven, all of that. And so I did this channel because I wanted brothers to know that excuses are, we don't tolerate excuses over here. I grew up in an era, I have men around me that don't tolerate excuses. Is it hard? Yeah, it's hard. Did you get frustrated sometimes? Yeah, you absolutely get frustrated. Do we accept excuses though? Nah. Nope. Because I don't care how bad your situation is. I know somebody that had a worse situation who made it. I know somebody that grew up in a worse situation than you did who made it. I had friends growing up, their moms was drug addicts. Dad wasn't around, their moms was crackheads, prostitutes. They made it. I had a friend when I was in high school. I had a friend. He lived in a house the majority of his life with no water, and so he had a teacher that would go to his house and pick him up an hour before school started. He would get to school an hour before the first person got to school, so that he could shower in the gym because he didn't have water at his house. And that brother made it, and he could take care of his kids. He could take care of his lady. He could take care of himself. You ain't had it that hard. You ain't grow up like that. You ain't grow up on the street. You ain't grow up not knowing how you were going to eat. There are a lot of brothers out here who lived like that, who were homeless, lived on the street, had nothing, and they made it. So I don't want to hear your excuses. And I don't want to hear your finessing and your shaming tactics out here talking about, this is what you was called to do. You know what I mean? So you got to do it. And regardless of how long it take or how many people you got to finesse in order to get to it, it's justified because it's okay because, that's your dream because God told you were supposed to be a musician, or because God told you that you were supposed to do this, or God told you were supposed to do that. It's a no-go, man. The God I know, the God I think exists, the God I believe exists, told me that if I got kids, I'm supposed to take care of them. You know what I mean? If he up there somewhere, I'm assuming that he would tell me that if I took a vow and a covenant to love somebody and to lead them, that I would make sure they had everything that they needed. That's what I think he would say. That's what I think he would say. And so if you're not living like that, look, if you don't have no responsibilities, you don't have no kids, you're not married, you don't have a girl, nothing like that, be a loser. You have a right to be a loser. Nobody's depending on you for nothing. You know what I'm saying? But you still putting burdens on people. Somebody taking care of you, your mother, your grandmother, your auntie, somebody taking care of you. And you're putting a burden on them. They got to work extra hard so that you be lazy, so that you could be a lame, so you could be a loser. And if you love people, you don't let them work like that. You don't let them pick up your slack. I don't care what type of relationship y'all have, whether it be, a marriage or a friend, family, whatever. If you love somebody, you respect them, you don't allow them to pick up your slack. That's your slack. And you're responsible for it. And so I understand that, I could come out here, I could bash women all day and get a lot of followers. I could come out here and I could make and create fake beefs with big time content creators and try to get my name up in a lame fashion. I could do that, but I won't. This show is going to be designed to speak to the heart of men primarily. I'm talking to the ladies too, in a, in my own unique way. But for the most part, I'm speaking to the hearts of men because we set the tempo, man. We're the leaders. Nothing happens in this world that we don't tolerate. Nothing happens in this world that we don't accept. If these women are running around reckless, it's because we accept it. It's because we tolerate it. It's because no matter how dysfunctional they may be, we still deal with them. Even if we just smash them, we still dealing with them on a certain level, and just dealing with them on any level lets dysfunctional women know that somebody's thinking about them. That somebody, even if you cussing her out, even if you pumping and dumping, you took the energy to go over there and see her. You could have been anywhere, but you went over there. So you're giving her attention. And it's attention that a lot of these people, a lot of these ladies want. So you feeding them. You're feeding that dysfunction. So whatever we tolerate, that's what's gonna happen out here. If we accept it, we're gonna keep seeing it. So we got to get to a point as men where we stop accepting foolishness, man. Where we're men of integrity, of discipline. We get our bag. We check behavior that's unbecoming. You know what I mean? If you come at us at a negative way, in a disrespectful way, we check you. We don't got to be disrespectful with it, but we're gonna let you know we don't tolerate that, man and woman. And if we move like that, man, this world will be a better place. Our communities will be better. You know what I mean? We got to stop putting dysfunction in the forefront, man. A man out here focusing on his hobbies and not his hustles, that's dysfunction. That's dysfunction. Some of these women out here, man, actually have a solid argument, man. They actually have a solid argument. They do have to vet better. They have to choose better, and they got to stop, basing the foundation of their decisions with men on how they feel, because feelings change. Love, love flows and ebbs like the tide. You feel one way today, you feel another way tomorrow. You know what I mean? So you can't focus everything on that. Some stuff you got to put on principles. You got to put it on principles. You got to say, look, man, what is the quality of this cat? You know what I mean? Is he about his paper? Is he somebody that means what he says and says what he means? That got to count for something too. But I'm telling you, fellas, a lot of times, man, a lot of the situations y'all deal with these women and it blow up in your face, a lot of times it's because a lot of times your paper ain't right. It's not. You got brothers out here who paper's not right, who depend on women to take care of them, and then they shocked when they get cheated on. They shocked when her mouth is slick. They shocked when she don't really listen to nothing he have to say. She's taking care of you. You her son. Women don't listen to their sons. They don't follow their son's instructions. They don't respect their son the way that they would respect a man. She treating you like you her son. Because in actuality, you are. She's taking care of you. She's financing you. She's fronting you. She's the wind beneath your wings. You know what I'm saying? She's the air in your chest. She can't respect you like that. You can't really respect yourself like that. I know sometimes paper comes and goes. Sometimes you get, your money up, then it's down. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm talking about tonight. I'm not talking about a brother who had it and then lost it, because anything that you lost, you could get it back. Anything you lost, you could get it back. But I'm talking about the brothers who ain't never had it. I'm talking about the brothers who don't want it. because in their mind, they feel like, want it for what? I don't need it. I got her for that. I got them for that. I have my mother for that. I got my homies for that. It's not what men do, man. That's not what men do. Men get paper. Men get it. It's hard. I get it. It's hard out here. It's COVID. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Systemic white supremacy is real. But there's too many brothers out here getting it for you to have that excuse. There's no excuses. I know young brothers out here driving trucks, man, getting 6 figures, balling. Young brothers, man. One of the brothers was in this chat. We talk all the time. You know what I mean? Brother getting ready to buy a house. Young brother too. He bought his paper. He didn't come up with a silver spoon. He didn't come up in the nicest of neighborhoods. But he's a man. He understands that men are supposed to have bread. Men are supposed to work. We come from the adage that if you don't work, you don't eat. And so a lot of y'all, based on that, a lot of y'all should be out here starving and you're not. And that's the problem. So, man, so if you don't hear nothing else I say tonight, focus on your hustle. If that hobby is something that you're passionate about, you can't let it go. Don't let it take up more time than your hustle. And if you can, turn your hobby into a hustle. Turn your hobby into a hustle. Wealth is health, man. Wealth is protection. Protect yourself. Insulate yourself with wealth and resources. Make sound decisions. Invest your money in things that will bring money back to you. Invest it. Buy real estate, buy property. Crypto's popping right now. Learn about it. Get involved. Put you some money in there. Watch your money grow. Let it grow for you. But be about your paper. Because your kids, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it straight up. Your kids, they don't give a damn about your dreams when they're starving. Your kids don't give a damn about your hobby when they need something for school and you can't buy it for them. Your lady, your old lady, don't give a damn about your hobby when the rent due and y'all ain't got the money to pay it because you ain't bringing no money in. They don't care, and they shouldn't care. The first thing, what comes first for me, is to make sure my family's straight. I wouldn't even come on this show. I wouldn't even be on YouTube. I wouldn't even have a channel if my family wasn't straight. Y'all want to pop champagne. Y'all ain't won a championship. Champagne popping and cigar smoking, that's for champions. That's for people that's for men who won something. That's for men who've acquired something. Y'all want to pop champagne and cigars like LeBron and celebrate, but y'all ain't won no championship. The championship is getting your paper up. The championship is being able to take care of yourself and the people who depend on you. And when you can do that, you winning. And then when you win, you can celebrate. All right, man, it's another one, man. I want to thank y'all, man, for another show. Thank y'all for rocking out with me. It's a pleasure as always. I'm very grateful to the supporters of the channel for coming through, showing love, commenting, liking, subscribing, sharing, super chatting, cash app, and all that good stuff, man. This channel is nothing without y'all. It's grown leaps and bounds. Within a year, I did my first live, I think in April or May of last year. And so the show has grown leaps and bounds. We started off, obviously, like everybody else, we started off with 1 sub. We had around 2,500 subs right now in 1 year. That's great. You know what I mean? I'll take that. You know what I mean? I'll take it because I did it being myself. You know what I mean? I could take it because I did it, you know what I mean, being myself, being true to myself, and not being somebody that I'm not coming on here and faking and perpetrating a fraud and finessing. So I could take it. And I wouldn't care if it was 2,500, 250K or 25. I take that. If I could be myself, if I can be real and look in the mirror and not feel like a lame because I lied and I defrauded people and I perpetrated a fraud. I was somebody that I wasn't. So I'm good with that. And I'm good with y'all too. Straight up. I see you. Respect. You know what I mean? I see my bro. Respect. If you want to reach out to me, man, you know, you could do so by email, jrivers@gmail.com. I do a little bit of everything through my email. I answer questions. I get ideas for shows from supporters of the channel. You know what I mean? I do consultations on there. I schedule them. I have my mentoring program popping off for the young brothers. You know what I mean? So if you're interested in any of those things, you can reach out to me, frankjrivers@gmail.com to do that. Follow me, man. I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere, man. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. Obviously, I'm on Facebook. Obviously, I'm on Clubhouse as well, and I'm on Twitter. You know what I mean? Instagram, View from Man Cave. And obviously, you know, View from the Man Cave on Facebook and on YouTube. Also, if you want to support the channel financially, you could do that as well. Fiscally, you could do that. I'm on Cash App and I'm on PayPal. So I'm on Cash App, $ View from the Man Cave. And I'm on PayPal as well. PayPal, View from the Man Cave on PayPal. PayPal.me/View from the Man Cave. All right. So I got a couple topics that I'm really looking into to do next week. I haven't really decided yet, but as soon as I decide, I'll put it out there for the people, you know what I mean? So y'all can tap in, so y'all can, you know, schedule it and all that. So y'all can make sure y'all ready for the show. You know what I mean? But again, I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all. I respect y'all. You know what I mean? Y'all could be doing anything on a Tuesday night. You could be doing anything with anybody, but you came through, you know, to rock with the kid, you know what I mean? And chop it up with me. So I appreciate that, man. All right. So on that note, y'all be good. Y'all be safe. We're still in a pandemic. You know, wash your hands, keep your mask on, stay 6 feet away from people. You know what I mean? And on that note, y'all be easy. One.
The powers of alchemy. alchemy